There's a little bit of a story that I like. Mother Night from Kurt Vonnegut, a very good author who you've probably read Slaughterhouse-Five from, but wrote a lot of other books. In my opinion, better books. Mother Night is one of the more serious ones. It's about an American spy who was in Germany during World War II. He wasn't even intending to be a spy. He was, I think, an artist or a playwright in Germany when Nazis took over, and American officials approached him and said, you know, hey, be a spy for us. It's a cool premise for a story. Well, basically, the whole story leads up to his, spoilers for like a 50-year-old book. Not even 50, like 70-year-old book. It's a run-up to his suicide. It's not a happy book, but he befriends a number of Nazi officials. He becomes a propagandist for the Nazi government. As a spy, you know, he relays information with the privileges he's given as a propagandist, and he befriends Nazi officials. And in the book, he is even, I believe, one of the people who draws some of the anti-Semitic propaganda that's used by the Nazi government. And he does it all, you know, he follows along. After the war ends, of course, being that he's a spy, there aren't much in the way of official records proving that he was a spy, because that's kind of the point of being a spy. So he's tried for being a collaborator with the Nazi regime here in the United States. And he only gets exonerated when the US government official who contacted him to begin with to induce him into being a spy, you know, get him into it, breaks his orders. Lamau, that's unrealistic. It's a book. This isn't a history book. It's not a history book. The guy who got him into it breaks orders and unveils that he was, in fact, like a spy collaborator. But anyway, the reason I'm getting through all this, the protagonist was at Nuremberg. One of the last things in the book is him writing on his conversation with one of the Nazi officials. It's a real Nazi official. The name was real. He's having a conversation with this high-up Nazi official, somebody who would have been, you know, having brunch with Hitler every day. And the Nazi is saying, while in a prison cell at Nuremberg, yeah, I'm going to get out of this. Don't worry. Me and my legal team have crafted a flawless defense. And the protagonist of the story, who knows fully well that the Nazi is going to hang, says, oh, what is it? That you were just acting under orders and you did nothing of your own personal volition, but you felt like you were threatened by the presence of other officials, so you had no choice but to carry them out? He just says that casually. And the Nazi in the cell, with big round open eyes, like scurries and looks back and forth before, you know, stammering up to the jail cell bars and going, have you been speaking with anyone? Have you been speaking with my lawyers? How do you know? It actually was his defense. And then, of course, the defense fails, and that soldier, that Nazi hangs himself before he's officially executed, following the trials. Anyway, I really like that bit in the book, because in a way, when you think about it, the defense, we were just following orders, is such an obviously bad defense. Like, it's such a clearly, plainly, obviously bad defense. There's no point at all to a war crimes trial if that's your excuse, because everyone's acting under orders. There's an overlapping and, you know, reciprocal chain of command that goes up to the highest levels of any government. You could pull that for basically anyone. Certainly not for leaders, you know. He was a leader. In criminal law, it's a valid defense sometime, which is why I was confused about with the war crimes trial. In criminal law in the United States, as I understood it, it's a generally disregarded defense. It's possible that Ukraine is just going to throw it out the window because they feel as though sufficient opportunity has been given to defect by this point in time with the Russian soldiers. You know, with so many Russian soldiers defecting or just, like, running out of fuel and, like, stalling, you know, deliberately holding up the war effort on Russia's end. Maybe. Do you have a favorite author? It probably would be Kurt Vonnegut. It's not I was under orders, but more if I didn't do X crime, I'd be killed by this person thing. Well, in that case, if you commit a crime because your life is being threatened, then you've been coerced. And in US law, at least, I know that usually gets you off the hook. I think the issue is that when it comes to wartime, the problem is putting yourself in that position to begin with, you know? Like, up everything that led up till that point. Also, would you be shot, or would you be, like, arrested? And, you know. Look, I'm not a legal expert.